This is the best game I've had thus far in the Duelist Cup alongside my favorite deck, Tri-Brigade. Alrighty, so here we are going first, and we're obviously playing Tri-Brigade. Yummy, big fan of Tri-Brigade, big fan of Yummy. I like both of their archetypes, they're really fun. But my opponent, as you can see, double Fool loss, kind of sucks. We do want to special summon a whole bunch, and now we just don't really have the ability to do that. So yeah, we're gonna kind of have to do a half play. I start with the Fool loss here. This may seem strange. We want to get a Beast Warrior Winged Beast into the graveyard for their Nerval here, so that's why we have to do that. I could have just held it and passed the turn. I don't think that would have done much, but alas, here we go. We do also have two Yummies in our hand, so we're immediately going to special summon both. We also put the Lollipo back into their deck, or use the Lollipo to put the Fool loss back into their deck. Does this shuffle? It shuffles, right? Yeah. Anyway. I also have to summon another Snatchy, simply because we need to have at least one of them be properly summoned. This Yummy Snatchy is not properly summoned, so that's why we're doing that. So we give them basically 2 draws, and then we pass the turn. However, hey, they drew another Fool loss. That's gonna bite us in the butt. So basically, they've used all 3 Fuwas. Unless they happen to top deck the same one, but alas, out comes Dark Magician, Hip Hip Hooray. I actually really am not a big fan of this archetype anymore, mostly because it just has boiled down to Dragoon Turbo, and Dragoon is just a very boring card in general. It's a really boring interaction, and it's just another one of those cards that's just kind of like, well, do you have the out? And that's it. So, very annoying. Anyway, we're going to go here into the Cupsy Yummy. They're going to draw a card, we're going to activate the effect, we're going to activate the effect of Nerval as well. And the reason for this is because we want to be able to book these, but I want to get the search off of the Cupsy Yummy way before going for the Cookie. So out comes Cupsy, out comes the Mao. I pitched the Cupsy so that we have that target engraved for later. Now we can go for the Cookie, and I'm going to attempt to book here. They draw a card. We're going to attempt to book. Out comes Gaze. This is one of the reasons we wanted to do this. Now we also get to tag out, which is nice. So there you go. Out comes our 2 guys. Summon back the Snatchy here. Fantastic. They're going to go Dragoon. And I'm like, sure. Yeah, nothing I can really do about that. We're going to book the Dark Magician Girl at the very least. They're going to attempt to send our card to the graveyard. Out comes the Cupsy Yummy effect. They're going to change Dragoon. Now, if you don't know, don't do this. Because simply put, now I can just chain my Snatchy and synchro off the monster, and you don't get the attack boost, which matters at least somewhat. So I don't know why we're doing this. Also, notably, I get to go for the Cookie here. So we're going to go Cookie here, put it back, and then go into the Snatchy here in order to synchro again. This is one of the things that I love about of the Yummies, is just the way that they play on the opponent's turn. Makes a very interesting game. So I like it. We're going to summon the Lollipo, and then summon back the 2 monsters off of the effect of the Lollipo. Now, notably, Lollipo actually cannot trigger here. We don't have 2 names for them to summon. Yes, we do have a Snatchy engraved, but as previously mentioned, it was not properly summoned. Therefore, we cannot properly bring it back. Though we do get to pop the other Magician's Rod, so there's that. Now they activate an effect, and yeah, we're going to bring back our other Cupsy, or not Cupsy, Yummy. Yeah, no, this is Cupsy. What am I talking about? Our other Cupsy, in order to bring it back onto the field. Out comes the Albaz, and at this point I don't really have anything, so I'm just like, yeah, sure, you can do that. I think I was also low on time at this point. I've taken a whole bunch of actions, so there's not a whole lot that I can do here. The opponent does get the ability to walk over the field, which kind of sucks. Notably, also, I will say, at least the Dragoon hasn't utilized any normal monsters as fusion material, so it doesn't get its most powerful effect of being able to, like, pop and burn. Which I do genuinely believe is the most powerful of its effects. Out comes the Yummy Marshmallow, which, of course, is met by the set branded in red. Hip Hip Hooray. Man, I love branded red. It's so cool. Out comes Guardian Chimera. They're going to draw 2 and notably pop our Yummy, which is fine, because now we get to go for the triple attack. They're going to promptly negate it, pitching another Albaz, which is interesting. Keep that in mind, they've already used both of their Albazes, but that's okay, because now we get a normal summon Karos, which is fantastic. Activate the Karos effect, we're going to banish 1, 2, 3, and 4, and out comes Shrag. Shurag effect is going to activate, which promptly deals with the Dragoon. Then we can link those off into the Ferris sheet. We're going to activate the effect of our Shurag in order to grab Cat, because we banished many a monster. We can do that. Out comes Cat, activate its effect. We're going to bounce, or not bounce, summon 2 of our guys, and out comes Elf. Elf effect is going to activate, and we are going to, Ferris sheet and Kit activate in sequence. To be fair, I technically should have done that in the opposite direction. It doesn't matter too much, but I technically should have. Anyway. Out comes Nerval. Nerval effect is going to grab Fractal. And out comes Elf. Elf is going to grab Kit. Kit is then going to reborn a guy. Sorry, summon a Link 1. This is the purpose of the Kit here. So we summon the Link 1. Because I don't have another way to really do anything, right? I have both of my Snatchies. No, not in the extra deck, right? So out comes the Cupsy Yummy Way. We finally got access to another Cupsy Synchro monster, so out comes Cupsy Yummy Way. Out comes the Cookie, out comes the Cupsy, both of which we do want to special summon. So we're going to special summon both of those, adding back the Surprise, then going for the Synchro of the Cupsy there. And then I go for a Synchro of Starham. Yay, Starham. Why did I do this? I don't know. I don't have a target for this to go into. This is just a misplay on my part, to be fair. It's fine. We summon the Snatchy, and then I go for the Synchro here of the Lollipo, and Synchro again into Herald, and then link off into Pit Knight early. Bit of a goof on my part. Again, I did end up being low on time from that position. But yeah, I should not have made Starham. I don't know what I was going for with this. I didn't have a card to discard, so that's just cope on my part. Don't know why I did this. I thought I had another target, but I didn't. It's fine. I'm going to go for the Elf here in order to reborn. To be fair, this board is really good. The early can just negate here, so very strong here. Reborn our Lollipop, or our Cupsy Yummy Way, and out comes Combat. They're going to walk into the early here to trigger the effect, which I do have to negate with the Herald. Otherwise, my board goes away, which I really don't want to have happen. So we elect to not have that happen. They're going to go to combat, walk over the other Yummy. And, yeah, Illusion of Chaos into Dark Magician. Yep. Let's see what they can accomplish off of this. Out comes the Dark Magician. Grab Future Silence off of the effect of the Shining Star. This does allow them to go for the Dark Magician, or the Dark Magician of Chaos. Yeah, of Destruction. Anyway. They draw a card off of Soul Servant, which... What did they add? They added Gaze. So they have another Gaze. They could make another Dragoon here, which could be a massive issue. It looks like they don't have that. So out comes Timaeus. They're going to set 2 and pass the turn. And add back the Blazing Cartesia. And I'm like, oh, okay. That kind of sucks. I mean, I'm still under the impression that they're playing a second Dragoon. I feel like most of the decks have that second Dragoon. But to be fair, we did survive. Elf specifically survived, which is the important thing here. But alas, in draw phase, they're going to go for the Gaze of Timaeus. I'm like, okay, this is where Master of Chaos. Oh. Out comes Mirror Jade. Now, for some reason, for some way, somehow, some world, they allow me to get to main phase, which means that I can go for the Elf here. They still had the ability to banish, utilizing the Mirror Jade, and they just didn't. They just didn't. Which means that, notably, we do actually have the ability to reborn. If they had just activated in standby or in draw phase, I would be totally cooked. They also elect to pop my field spell, which doesn't do anything. I am out of Link 1s. Oh, that's not true. I could go for Almirage. I forgot about that. But alas. We're going to actually shuffle back our other Link 1, the Snatchy. Just kidding. We're not, because this does, for some reason, also negate spells. Didn't know it did that, but okay. Anyway, we're going to go into some Synchro monsters here. I'm going to book 2. Notably, I have to book... I don't have to, but I elect to book this one. So, there you go. We're going to just walk over the one, not walk over the Ice Jade or the Mirror Jade. And to be fair, this is a mistake. Here's the thing. If either me or my opponent read this card properly, this game, I would have won a little bit faster, right? Actually, wouldn't have won too much faster, but I would have won a little bit faster. This card says, if this fusion summoned card leaves the field by an opponent's card. Notably, this card is not fusion summoned. It was summoned off of the effect of another card to reborn it, right? So, it isn't going to nuke my field, which is important. That's all. Anyway, Kit is going to send Nerval. Nerval is going to grab Fractal. We linked off the Kit there for the El Mirage, which is pretty nice. But yes, I absolutely could have walked over the Mirror Jade and just left that off of their board. To be fair, it's not too big of a deal, but yeah, that could have mattered. Also, the way that they chain this is very bad. Had they literally just activated the effect of this to tribute a light and dark monster, which I believe they have. Here's a light, here's a dark. To banish all monsters the opponent controls, I would have lost. Actually, no, that's not true, because I could have just chained El Mirage. Never mind. Forget I said anything. I forgot how this card worked. I thought it said light or dark, and I was like, oh, this like absolutely would have killed me. But no, we're all good. So, anyway, regardless, they use Future Silence to grab a thing. I don't know what it does. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, regardless, we book here as well, which is pretty cool. The reason I ended up attempting to try and pop the Timaeus, because this card is technically the most problematic. It can boost itself and it's unaffected. So I was like, okay, I think it's no longer unaffected, and the attack boost does matter. So I was like, okay, well, let's try and pop it with the cookie. And then at that point, I was like, oh, when was this summoned? I thought it was a while ago. No, it was just last turn. So whoops on my part. Anyway, regardless, we go for the El Mirage. I target the Elf, and then I target the early to 0. They walk over the early and walk in with the Mirror Jade. Here again is one of the moments. Had my opponent read their card, or had I read it, to be fair. Out comes another one of the destruction. It's probably the same one, but alas. We tag out, grow into another 2 guys. They're going to attempt to force us to send. That's fine. We're going to draw a card here. Out comes Drac Magicians, and I draw Fua, which is, I mean, it's technically useful, but it's not great. Out comes Grand Guignol, and honestly, they have not much. They're going to draw a card off of Granganol, or not Granganol, Garura. But yeah, they don't really have anything, and early just gets to come back. By the way, I'm on like 2 seconds here. So if you're ever wondering why I'm summoning this or that or the other thing instead of what is probably a better option, like I didn't summon Snatchy because I just can't. I can't do anything with Snatchy, right? Like I don't have the time to do so. So yeah, I'm very low on time. And there's that. Out comes Quiritis, which not great for me, but it's really not that big of a deal. We're going to go for the Kit here. Kit is going to grab... Kit is going to be sent to the graveyard via the effect of Sark, which they're just pitching all their spells. But that's fine. They allow me to tag out, so we're going to go for the tag out here. We're going to go for the Cookie, and we're going to pop the Quiritis. My opponent's going to attempt to lower the entire field, and notably, Quiritis didn't trigger, meaning they don't have another target. They just have no more targets in their branded deck. Wild, to say the least. So, okay, we're still in this, and... huh? My opponent has surrendered. Yeah, at this point, we have everything still. Like, we still have all of our yummy stuff, and they have... nothing. They're like out of guys. They have literally nothing left, right? We've baited out all of the interactions. We were able to actually from that position, what we can do is just steal their big guy and go for lethal. So yeah, that game is pretty much over. What a crazy game. Wild. All right, this was mostly just a showcase of a really cool game that I had. I honestly was a big fan of it. Yeah, even though it was against Branded and Dark Magician, both of which are archetypes that I'm not exactly a fan of playing against, right? Most of the time, those duels are really boring. But this one actually happened to be pretty interesting. It's just one of the things that I love about Yu-Gi-Oh!, right? What a cool game. We both made mistakes, to be fair. But all in all, pretty fun game nonetheless. So, there you go. That's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy it. If you did, a like is very much appreciated. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.